back with a new lesson. Well, I feel a little sad today because yesterday I met a very close friend of mine and she was really upset. And when I asked her, all that she told me is, I want to quit my job. And I told her, don't do it. The economy is bad, the job market is tight, so hang in there till you find something nice. Well, like any other friend, she just had to get it out of her system and explain what happened. So yes, today we're going to learn how to talk about a bad day at work. Sometimes we find it difficult to explain what we go through. We don't have enough words. We can't express it well so the other person understands exactly what we go through. Okay, so this is what today's lesson is about, a bad day at work. So this is how it started. Yesterday when I met her on her way back from work, I asked her why she was upset, and like I told you, she said, I want to quit my job. I don't want to work anymore. So I told her, okay, calm down, tell me. So she said, well, there's a lot happening at work. One of the things is, I can't stand office politics. Now, when we say can't stand, that doesn't mean literally that you can't stand on your 2 feet. It actually means that you can't tolerate, you can no longer bear something. So when something gets onto your nerves, it could be the sight of a person that you don't like and you say, I can't stand the sight of her. Or some people can't stand the sight of meat, so they say, well, I can't sit with friends at a table, with people who eat non-veg, can't stand non-veg, the smell of non-vegetarian food. So can't stand means you can't bear it, you can't tolerate it. Okay, so I can't stand office politics. Well, we all know what politics means, but what does office politics mean? Means that, people form alliances, there's a lot of back chatting happening, backbiting. Back chatting, I tell you, I'm very sweet to you on your face, and I go back and say, she is not nice. So, you have alliances, you have groups, you kind of sugarcoat your words, you're sweet, but you really, on the face you are very nice to each other, but behind your back there is pure hatred and dislike and disharmony. Okay, so that's what office politics is. So she said, she was very upset because she doesn't like to be a part of office politics. So she says, I can't stand office politics. Okay, so, and I asked her why, what's happening, and she said, a lot of my colleagues are kissing up, okay, to people who call the shots. Now, kissing up means butter up someone. When you want favors from someone, you may not like the person, but you're just buttering up the person to just to get favors from him or to get him on your side or to support you to do something. Of course, you have your ulterior motives. You're doing it with an intention to gain something. So kissing up means buttering up someone. Now, a lot of people use the slang suck up. You really suck up to your boss. So, well, not a very nice word to use, but this is a slang. It actually means you are kissing up to someone. Now, a lot of people believe you need to, butter up your seniors to climb the corporate ladder to gain quicker promotions and higher designations. So she was upset because she said, all my colleagues are kissing up to people who call the shots. Now, what do you mean by call the shots? Call the shots means, making big important decisions. Okay, so when you kiss up to people who make big important decisions or people who call the shots, you always butter up, or you go kissing up to them because they are the ones who make big decisions. So they play a very important role in giving you your promotions or your increments. So she was upset because they were kissing up to people who call the shots. And why were they doing this? To move up the ranks. Now, to move up actually means to climb a ladder. You want to climb, you want to grow, so you have to climb your career ladder, right? Well, we all want this, we all want to move up, we all want to grow, but sometimes we have to resort to, or a lot of people resort to wrong things and kissing up to your seniors. So to move up the ranks, ranks obviously is your first rank, second rank. So to grow up, to gain higher designations and promotion, they were kissing up to people who call the shots, just to grow, all right, to climb the career ladder. And why was she upset? She says, forget all this, this is a part of my colleagues. My boss, he always tries to micromanage. Now, you know what does micromanage mean? You see the word micro, small, macro is large, you know, holistic. Micro is very small, and manages, obviously you have your boss or your team leader or your senior who's managing the entire team. So she says, my boss always tries to micromanage. That means, you know, he looks into little details. He has a very tight control, a tight grip on the people. So imagine how difficult it is when you're working and you have your boss sitting on your head, looking into every little details, you know, in every little thing. He wants to know the move that you make, what you did, where's the report, at what stage it has reached, why has it been delayed. Okay, so when you try to micromanage, you are having hawk's eyes. So well, in short, it means having a strict control, or you know, looking into basically every little detail of what you are doing. Okay. Well, so she tells me he not only micromanages, he is also breathing down my neck. I felt bad for her. So what do you mean by breathing down my neck? You know, when someone keeps a very close watch on you, so much so that it is annoying. You know there is someone who's watching every move you make and every little thing that you do. So probably he is around her all the time, walking around to see whom she's emailing, what reports she's preparing. So that means he's breathing down her neck. So she told me he's really breathing down my neck every time. I just can't bear it anymore. Okay, so he was micromanaging and he was always breathing down her neck. And then she said, you know, I have so much workload, I'm spread too thin. Now what do you mean by saying I'm spread too thin? Of course, not literally that you're spread thin. It means that you're handling too many things, you know, at the same time. It could be a lot of projects, it could be a lot of tasks, a lot of people, a lot of meetings. So you're spread thin. You have meetings, you have to submit reports, you have to go and meet your customers. So you're spread too thin. That means you have too many things to handle. Okay, so obviously if you're handling too many things, that means you extend yourself beyond limit, right? You're doing more than you should be doing. So well, she was upset because there was too much work pressure. She was spread too thin. Okay, and after having so many projects, she tells me that a boss calls and says, okay, what about project B, when he told her to do project A? It needs to be done yesterday. And she was like, but I'm supposed to work on project A, where does project B come from? So when he told her it needs to be done yesterday, it means that you need it immediately. You see, yesterday is always the past, but when you say it needs to be done yesterday, that means it was so urgent that it should have been done by now. So it needs to be done yesterday. That means I need it immediately. And that's where all the frustration grows. You know, when she was narrating this entire whole day episode to me, I think I was blessed because I have a wonderful boss, and I hope you guys are blessed and have a good boss too. Okay, and then I told her, okay, hang in there. I mean, there must be some reason that you shouldn't leave. And then was the howler. when she told me, no, the salary and the benefits leave a lot to be desired. Now when she said this, it meant that the salary and the benefits were highly unsatisfactory. Okay, sometimes you watch promotions of movies, you watch trailers, you have great star cast and the expectations are really high, and when you actually go and watch the movie, you feel it was crap, it was not worth it, there was no storyline, it was absolutely rubbish. So you leave the theater. I mean, the graphics, the animation may have been great, but still the movie left a lot to be desired. That means somewhere you were dissatisfied with the entire movie. So when you are left with a lot to be desired, that means you are highly unsatisfied. Okay, friends. And then she said, after handling so many things, dealing with politics, I wrap up my job late. So she starts at 8 in the morning, she ends like by 9 at night. So she said, my wrap up, that means closing or concluding or ending up a day or winding up a day, happens after 12-13 hours of all the things that she has to handle. Okay, friends, so this is her entire story, and these are the certain phrases and idioms that you could use when you want to talk about a bad day of work. Go ahead, express it. Of course, I do hope you don't have too many bad days at work, but we all know we have to face this at some point of time, at our workplace. All right, so I hope these are going to help you to express yourselves better the next time you want to talk about a bad day at work. Fine, I'll be back soon with a new lesson. Till then, take care.